Welcome back, mystery enthusiasts. Today we're diving into one of the most intriguing unsolved mysteries in modern history. A real-life thriller that has baffled investigators, sparked countless theories, and left us all asking the same question. Who was D.B. Cooper? This isn't fiction. It's not inspired by anyone's imagination. No, this is 100% true. On November 24th, 1971, the day before Thanksgiving, a man disappeared into thin air after pulling off one of the most daring crimes in aviation history. His case remains a mystery to this day, sparking debates, investigations, and even conspiracy theories. So grab your detective hats, because we're about to unravel the legend of D.B. Cooper's Sherm. Let's rewind to Portland, Oregon on November 24th, 1971. A seemingly ordinary man in his early 40s boarded Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305 bound for Seattle, Washington. He paid $20 for his ticket, dressed in a business suit with a white shirt, black tie, and black rimmed glasses. Carrying only a simple black briefcase, he appeared unassuming, almost too normal. But appearances can be deceiving. Shortly after takeoff, around 3 p.m., Cooper handed a note to flight attendant Florence Schaffner. At first, she thought it might just be a phone number or some harmless gesture. However, when Cooper whispered urgently, "Please, you better read this," her curiosity turned to shock. The note revealed a chilling message. "I have a bomb in my bag. Keep calm." To prove his claim, Cooper opened the briefcase to reveal what looked like a functional bomb. 8 red cylinders connected by wires covered in red insulation and powered by a large battery. The crew had no choice but to comply with his demands. Cooper requested 4 parachutes and $200,000 in $20 bills. That amount today would be worth over $1.2 million. Once the plane landed in Seattle, authorities provided the ransom money and parachutes. Passengers were released, leaving just Cooper and a few crew members aboard. But here's where things get interesting. Witnesses described Cooper as polite and respectful throughout the ordeal. In fact, he ensured the remaining crew members were well fed during the journey. Was this man truly a cold-blooded criminal, or something else entirely? With his demands met, Cooper instructed the pilot to fly toward Mexico City at low altitude, less than 10,000 feet, and slow speed, under 200 knots per hour. It became clear that Cooper knew exactly what he was doing. He demonstrated familiarity with the terrain and seemed experienced in flying and skydiving. At approximately 8 p.m., Cooper made his move. He asked the crew to enter the cockpit and close the door behind them. Moments later, the control screen showed a pressure difference in the rear of the plane, indicating the stairs had been lowered. Then, silence. When the crew emerged from the cockpit, they discovered Cooper was gone, along with the money, parachutes, and the alleged bomb. Authorities launched an immediate search, but there was no sign of Cooper anywhere. Planes accompanying the hijacked aircraft reported seeing nothing unusual. Despite extensive ground searches, no body, parachute, or evidence of Cooper's landing site was ever found. In the weeks following the hijacking, mysterious letters began arriving at newspapers across the country, signed by none other than D.B. Cooper. These cryptic messages hinted at Cooper's identity and motives, while raising more questions than answers. One letter sent to the Reno Evening Gazette on November 29, 1971 read, "Attention! Thank you for the hospitality. I've been suffering from a routine. The third-page drawing estimation of the suspect does not represent the truth. I enjoyed the Grey Cup. I'm leaving Vancouver. Thanks for hosting." Another letter sent to the Portland Oregonian on December 1, 1971 stated, "I am alive and living well in my city. Note, I am the regime that defeated the regime." Perhaps the most intriguing letter arrived on December 11, 1971, addressed to multiple newspapers, including the New York Times and Los Angeles Times. In it, Cooper claimed, "Gentlemen, I knew from the beginning that I wouldn't get caught. Unfortunately, I have only 14 months left to live. My life was a life of hate, hunger, poverty, and more hate. This seemed like the quickest way to make money and find some peace of mind." Analysts later decoded hidden messages within these letters, revealing the name Robert W. Rackstraw. Could this be the key to solving the mystery? Over the years, investigators identified hundreds of potential suspects, narrowing it down to three main contenders. 1. Robert Floyd McCoy, a career criminal with a history of similar operations. However, McCoy didn't match witness descriptions and was later killed while trying to escape prison. 2. Sheridan Peterson, a former U.S. Marine and experienced skydiver who worked for Boeing. Peterson matched Cooper's physical description and even posed for a photo wearing a suit and tie mid-jump, a violation of standard skydiving attire. Yet alibis and DNA evidence cleared him of suspicion. 3. Robert W. Rackstraw, a Vietnam War veteran and skilled skydiver whose name surfaced repeatedly through decoded messages. Investigator Thomas J. Colbert spent years researching Rackstraw, publishing a book titled The Last Master Outlaw, and producing a documentary for the History Channel called D.B. Cooper, Case Closed. Despite Colbert's conviction, Rackstraw denied involvement until his death in 2019. Despite decades of investigation, the FBI officially suspended the case on July 8, 2016, citing a lack of new leads. To this day, we still don't know if Cooper survived the jump. Some believe he perished due to the harsh weather conditions and inadequate gear, while others argue that no body or evidence has ever been found. Interestingly, in 1980, a young boy accidentally discovered $5,800 buried along the Columbia River in Washington. The serial numbers match the ransom money given to Cooper, providing the only tangible clue in the case. So what happened to D.B. Cooper? Is he one of the suspects whose secrets died with them? Or could he still be out there, watching us piece together the puzzle he left behind? As we reflect on this enigmatic chapter in aviation history, one thing is certain. D.B. Cooper's story continues to captivate our imaginations. Whether he was a mastermind, a desperate man, or something else entirely, his legacy lives on as one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of all time. Now it's your turn. What do you think happened to D.B. Cooper? Share your theories in the comments below. Was he one of the suspects we discussed, or is the truth even stranger than we imagine? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another episode. Until next time, keep exploring the unknown. Realizing the need for heavy machinery, they recruited another member, Thomas Stevenson, a 40-year-old trader in used cars with experience smuggling heavy equipment and weapons. Upon joining, he provided a hydraulic jack with a force of 100 tons, capable of penetrating the bank's floor, along with oxyacetylene torches generating temperatures up to 4,500 degrees Celsius to cut through the steel-reinforced concrete. As a backup, he supplied gelignite explosives in case the other methods failed. Alongside these tools, various smaller excavation instruments were acquired. Next, they secured an expert in security systems, Mickey Gervais to disable the alarm systems, and Bobby Mills, responsible for external surveillance from the roof of a building across the street, communicating via walkie-talkies. Execution began on the first Saturday of August, chosen because it coincided with the weekend holiday, ensuring minimal disturbance. Working overnight, they started digging downward from the store, reinforcing tunnel walls with metal supports to prevent collapse, and installing lights as they progressed. Exhausted debris was dumped in an abandoned garden behind the store. Though labor-intensive, progress was slow due to the confined space, lack of ventilation, and frequent trips up and down carrying waste material. Throughout this period, lasting approximately a month, Tucker maintained his normal routine to avoid suspicion. During one session, a couple of passers-by noticed unusual sounds emanating from the store. Alerted via walkie-talkie, the team quickly ceased operations as Bobby intervened, posing as a security guard and explaining the noise resulted from the owner leaving the radio on. This incident highlighted the risks associated with noise, prompting Anthony to seek alternative solutions. Fortuitously, local government construction work commenced in the area, providing cover for their operations during daylight hours. Despite resolving noise issues, the excavation itself remained physically demanding. Operating in cramped, hot conditions with minimal oxygen, The team lost significant weight, up to 15 kilograms each. Tucker periodically left to perform his usual banking duties, maintaining appearances. In early September, they reached the reinforced concrete floor of the vault. Another stroke of luck occurred when Anthony overheard that the bank had temporarily disabled its alarm system due to frequent false triggers caused by ongoing municipal construction work. Capitalizing on this, they attempted using the hydraulic jack to breach the floor, but encountered structural instability threatening the tunnel's collapse. Pausing operations, Anthony sought a solution during a drinking session at a local pub. Unfortunately intoxicated, he inadvertently disclosed details of the operation to a stranger seated nearby. The following morning, Anthony found a man standing outside the store threatening to inform the police unless included in the operation. Initially dismissive, Anthony feigned ignorance until the man revealed intimate knowledge of the plan. Reluctantly agreeing, Anthony learned the newcomer was an explosives expert, significantly enhancing their capabilities. Utilizing precision explosives, they gradually created a 30-centimeter diameter hole in the vault floor, narrow enough for only the slimmest team members to navigate. One by one, they entered the vault, emptied the deposit boxes, and filled small bags with the contents. Coincidentally, approximately 800 meters away on Pollard Street, Robert Rowlands, an amateur radio enthusiast, was tuning into Luxembourg radio when he intercepted a suspicious walkie-talkie conversation between two voices, one inside a location and the other outside acting as a lookout. Mentioning 400,000 pounds and nearing completion, Robert deduced a robbery was underway. Despite awareness of potential legal repercussions for unauthorized eavesdropping, his conscience compelled him to report the matter to the police. Initially dismissed as a drunk, Robert followed advice to record further communications. Over 2 hours, he captured comprehensive dialogues revealing multiple participants, including a woman, complaints about toxic fumes, and a heated argument culminating in the rooftop lookout abandoning his post. At 1 a.m., Robert contacted Scotland Yard, whose officers took the report seriously, dispatching an investigator to review the recordings. Confirming a major bank heist, police efforts were hampered by rudimentary signal tracking technology, leading to extensive searches across a wide radius encompassing 750 banks. Ironically, officers inspected Lloyd's Bank, but failed to investigate thoroughly beyond confirming the vault door remained intact. Aware of police activity, the gang retrieved what they could and retreated. Returning the following morning at 8:30 a.m., they completed clearing the vaults, stealing over 1.5 million pounds in cash, valuable jewelry, watches, and incriminating documents belonging to prominent individuals. Exiting via the tunnel, they hid evidence, leaving only heavy equipment and locked walkie-talkies behind. Loading their loot into a waiting vehicle, they disappeared. On September 13th, the bank manager arrived to find nothing amiss until the scheduled 10 a.m. vault inspection revealed devastation. 268 broken and empty deposit boxes, scattered papers and jewelry, and a large hole connecting to the tunnel. A note mocking Sherlock Holmes was left behind. Police investigations ensued, interviewing deposit box owners, many of whom refused disclosure. Despite tracing the tunnel to the adjacent leather goods store, no conclusive evidence emerged. Within the first week, Scotland Yard deployed 120 detectives divided into 4 teams, focusing on crime scene analysis, communication with box owners, command center operations, and external investigations. Reviewing Robert's recordings, they estimated 6 participants, including a woman, yet identities remained elusive. Breakthrough came through examining the lease agreement of the leather goods store, revealing Benjamin Wolf's involvement under his real name. Monitoring Wolf led to identifying Tucker, whose workshop closure and disappearance raised suspicions. On October 31st, observing Tucker handing a bag to Abdullah Hassan Gingery and his cousin Muhammad Ali Gingery, police apprehended them with 32,000 pounds linked to the heist. Subsequent arrests included Wolf and Tucker, who implicated Anthony and Thomas. Recovered were documents, personal belongings, and 231,000 pounds, though the remainder's whereabouts remained undisclosed. Strikingly, despite confessions implicating themselves, none resisted arrest. refusing to disclose additional accomplices beyond acknowledging conflict with Bobby Mills, withdrawn mid-operation, investigators suspected involvement in a larger organized crime syndicate. Insurance companies offered £3,000 rewards for further leads. Trials commenced January 2nd, 1973, concluding with 12-year sentences for Anthony, Tucker, and Thomas, 8 years for Wolf, and acquittal of the Gingery brothers due to their employment by a Swiss financial firm unaware of the heist. Curiously, neither the court nor authorities pursued inquiries regarding remaining stolen items or unidentified accomplices. Speculations arose suggesting government intervention suppressing media coverage, possibly linked to compromising photographs of Princess Margaret with actor John Bindon, used to blackmail the royal family. Alternate theories proposed intelligence agencies orchestrated the heist to conceal embarrassing materials. Regardless, official documentation remains classified until 2071. Thus concludes the story of the Baker Street Bank heist. Your feedback is welcome, and suggestions for future narratives are encouraged. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share the video with those you believe will enjoy it. Until next time, with an even more intriguing story, farewell.